Hey folks, and welcome back to the Tao Of Tech. We're just about starting to get things back to normality around here. Those that follow my vlog will know that my wife's been really ill. We've just had a myriad of personal stuff, children related stuff, family stuff that's had to take absolute #1 priority. But I did get a chance at the weekend to have a bit of self-indulgence. I've managed to get my 2080 Ti's installed in my rig, albeit not yet underwater, still under air, and they are absolute beasts. And at the risk of being slightly braggy, we are on the Time Spy Extreme leaderboard, leader chart, Hall of Fame, the 3dmark Hall of Fame for Time Spy Extreme. Just to give you a slightly broader overview of the rig, we've got a Ryzen Threadripper 1950X at 4 gigahertz with some not Corsair G-Skill memory at 3200 megahertz. That's kind of overclocked, but what it's rated at. And then we've got our RTX 2080 Ti's, both overclocked, moderate overclock, but to be fair, it's as far as we're going to be able to take these under air. And on the Time Spy Extreme Hall of Fame, if we account for all of the different cards, whether that's 2 times SLI, 3 times SLI, 4 times SLI, we're currently ranked at number 71. Go on there and take a look. It's under Tao Of Tech. I think much more meaningfully when you look at the Hall of Fame for 2 cards in SLI, which of course being a far more realistic view of the kind of rig you're going to run. There are no games that are currently being developed that support anything other than 2-way SLI. We are currently at 36 with a very respectable score of 11,877. So we're going to keep going. I have got myself 2 of these little beauties. So these are the EK Waterblocks Vector RTX 2080 Ti RGB water blocks. These are absolute beauties. I've got one out here for you to take a look at. An absolute beast. And they've got some very nice GeForce RTX writing that's RGB controlled with a RGB lead that goes onto your header on your motherboard. So we're in the process of making a fantastic video all about those cards, a really thorough review of how they perform under air, and then what the water blocks will do. Spoiler, I'm dead impressed. To give you a sense of the kind of performance I was getting from PUBG, it's well in excess of what my 100 Hertz ultra wide monitor can produce. So we need to get G-Sync switched off so we can get some really indicative numbers of wherever that's spiking up to, well in excess of 100 frames per second. And they're quiet. You know, there's been a lot of views on the aesthetics of these cards, the new coolers that Nvidia have put on them. And I have to say, I'm impressed. Excuse me 1 second. I'm dying with a cough, so of course wine is the answer. Yeah, the coolers are really, really quiet. Dead impressed with those. You ramp them up to 100%, of course they're noisy as hell. But even overclocked with the fan set to auto, and I've got, roughly speaking, 175 megahertz overclock on both GPUs simultaneously, and roughly speaking 50 megahertz on the memory, I have to say. And I found the same thing with the 1080s. Memory overclock is way more pernickety than the GPU overclock. But all in all, given that these cards have only been in for about 48 hours and pretty much out of the box, you know, landing ourselves in a top 100 Hall of Fame for Time Spy Extreme, which is a DX12 4K monstrosity of a test. I'm really impressed. We're going to get some blocks on these. We're going to see what they're really capable of. I do appreciate, guys, that the content has been super sporadic. I really and sincerely thank you for sticking with us. I've got some truly fantastic videos lined up. Don't take my word for it. Stick around for the next couple of days and you'll see those coming out. So there we go, guys. Just a quick vlog on the magnificence that is the RTX 2080 Ti. A whole heap of different views on the value of these cards, whether they're worth it. I think they're fab already, and we're still waiting for deep learning, super sampling, you know, that crazy anti-aliasing technology that kind of upscales from lower resolution, which is really going to be performance saving. Of course, historically, anti-aliasing is all about rendering at higher resolutions and then downscaling for your monitor. This is the complete opposite, so quite sort of counterintuitive. And you know, they're RTX cards, ray tracing. Nvidia, we're waiting patiently. It's time to get this stuff out. So there we go, guys. I hope you're really well wherever in the world you are, and I will see you in my next one.